What is up, guys? In today's video, we're gonna have another Inside the Mind style video. I'm gonna walk you through my thoughts and decisions as I play in Fortnite Zero Build. As always, if you guys do find this video helpful, informative, interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below where your favorite place to land is so far this season. Unfortunately, so far in these videos this season, I've landed Sanguine and Slappy, and those were the early spots for this bus pass. I think I'm just gonna go Relentless. This is probably my favorite of the vault POIs. I like Sanguine as well. I don't really like Eclipse that much. We'll go Relentless. Not sure how many people are going to be here because it is relatively late in the bus path, but like I said, the two earlier spots I've landed at already in this season for this series, and then I've landed Brutal like a million times as well. I'm like, I love Brutal. It's probably been one of my favorite places in Chapter 4 for Zero Build, but it's landed there a bunch, like I said. For this POI, I like to land on this side over here, and then make my way down into the vault, and then just kind of gatekeep the vault, stop other people from getting to it. And then once the POI is clear, I'll typically go for the vault and try to get the mythics. This spot only has 2 mythic spawns, so not the greatest. Sanguine is the same way. Eclipse is the only one with 3. And of the mythics in the game currently, the only ones I really want to use are going to be like the Foundation's MK, which this week it got nerfed. I don't think the nerfs ruined the weapon by any means, but also I was kind of already not the biggest fan of it. Like, the gun is great, don't get me wrong, but I think the twin mag is also just incredible. So I wasn't like always that thirsty to use the Foundation's MK. Like, I could just fine with the twin mag. And then I feel like this week's nerf kind of like made the gap even closer between those two weapons for me. Still fighting on the bottom here. The man would not die. And I feel like one of the biggest things for these POIs is just not being out in the open. I feel like you want to land and then just get somewhere to the point where you don't have to be worrying about a bunch of different angles at once, because these POIs can be like very chaotic at times, and if you just limit the angles you're exposed to, I feel like it makes living off spawn much easier. And that might have been the only people here, honestly. Like I said, it was really late in the bus path. Havoc AR also got buffed. There's actually people here. But yeah, so... Oh my god, that's such unfortunate timing. This little path down here is pretty nice. It's a way to easily get into the vault. I like just landing on that spot I landed at anyways. Like, I just like that spot of the POI, but also it makes catching decent timing here super easy. Because not a lot of people, like, kind of contest that little staircase down. We got really good timing in that other player was already fighting the boss, but it can be kind of rough when you come out of this hallway and then just all of the AI start like running at you. And then we could have had bunkers. I would rather have the ice wall just because the ice wall is infinite. Like, if you only had one use, just let's say hypothetically, I think one bunker is better than one ice wall. But the fact that the ice wall is infinite and you can just use it as many times as you want without really ever having to think about it, I think makes it really good. See if we can get on the go bag before I open all this stuff. I'm not gonna re-roll a million times for it, but hopefully we can just get it somewhat conveniently. Doesn't seem like that's gonna be the case though. Alright, let's take this. Also, unfortunately, my mythics were not good. I don't want either of these. I don't think the Chog Jug is very good. The 15-second heal time is not it. I don't think if I'm fighting anybody decent, I'm going to be able to get that off. And then also, the SMG is good, don't get me wrong, but for this current like meta in the game, I've just been kind of using 2 weapons, the shotgun and the twin mag AR. And so the SMG doesn't really have space in my inventory. So we're just like not going to take one of those. That's kind of like what I was talking about before with the mythics. There's not very many in the game that I would like to use, and so it's not always the best chance of like getting something I want out of the vaults. If it was like the charge shotgun, the MK, or the shockwave launcher, I definitely would have been down to use those, but shockwave launcher would have been really good to get, especially since I wasn't like the healthiest on shockwaves in this game. So now we're gonna come over here and then get this radio tower. There should be people left alive at Frenzy, so I'm just gonna land at this barn and then look for them. See if we can, you know, make out anything going on at this POI. Doesn't really seem like much happened here though. Actually, never mind, the barn is all broken. This is shotgun vending, and I've gotten asked a bunch of questions in videos or, you know, on comments on my stream of people being like, how do you use Sharp Tooth Twin Mag AR? Like, isn't Sharp Tooth Combat SMG better for close range? And it's like, yeah, 100%. If I'm going to be in a fight where, like, I'm just, like, barrel stuffing the opponent or we're, like, incredibly close range without cover, then the Combat SMG is the better weapon than the Twin Mag AR for that. But the kind of benefit of using this setup is that you get a lot of utility, you know? Can I please have pizza? Holy crap. But you get a lot of utility here with the ice wall and with mobility item. And so if you're just 50-50ing every fight, then you're really going to miss the SMG. But if you play off cover well and, you know, you play, I don't want to say safe, but if you play smart, I feel like this 2-gun setup can definitely be good. And you see my ice wall is already back. That's one of the definite, like, advantages of the ice wall is you can just spam it over and over again. Don't know what happened to that player. I was gonna say maybe they're in the bush. I think this might be an AI, the way they've been shooting and missing every shot. But yeah, like you just have to play a bit smarter, and the fact that you have an ice wall means that you can have cover in pretty much every fight. And I don't want to just like get on somebody, you know, unless I already have them very weak. If you're just gonna like jump on somebody when they have 250 HP, then like sure, the SMG would definitely be better for that. But like right here, we just like fried this guy. And then we push him. And then if you're able to get the exotic Maven, that also makes this a lot easier. Or you could just use a regular Maven or Infiltrator shotgun. I think those are definitely easier to get by in a 2-gun setup. But also, I think the Sharp Tooth is incredibly good. And it has a lot of range, which is very nice if you're playing around the ice wall and stuff. But I definitely will take the exotic Maven. If I get my hands on it. There's somebody in balloons over here. I'm pretty sure I just saw them. So I'm just like not gonna go for the card yet because they probably are, yeah. I was gonna say they're probably just baiting it. Not the greatest loot here. And I think there was shots going on like southeast earlier when I was fighting as well. When I pushed that Batman behind the silo. And the balloons should be leaving in the next update along with the Deku Smash. The ice wall is supposed to stay here for the remainder of the season though. Thought I just heard somebody. So the ice wall will still be here. The Deku Smash should be leaving. And with this week's update, they reduced how many slurps you get from every source of slurps. It was basically cut in half. So prior to this week's update, I would get 2 slurp juice from the boss there. But now you only get 1. And this kind of creates a situation where like it's hard to get 2 slurps. If you get 2 slurps, you have to get 2 sources of slurp juice. I have to like get boss and combat cache, or I have to get combat cache and island or whatever, you know what I mean? You can't, that's not what I wanted to do. You can't just get one thing and then have 2 slurps. So it creates a weird situation where you kind of have to take a worse loadout temporarily. Not necessarily in this case, because 4 pizza for 1 slurp, I think I would rather just have the slurp. Rip to that individual. Gets a bounty on me and then immediately gets fried. But yeah, I think I would rather just have 1 slurp than the pizza anyways, because it's kind of just like a one and done healing item. Like if I get beamed and have to, like, if I'm no shield, I'm going to eat all those pizza slices. And then the same is true with the slurp. But I've had situations where I have like exotic slaps and then I end up dropping them for 1 slurp. And then people are like, the slurps are definitely, or the slaps are definitely better than the slurp. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of true. If I was only going to have 1 for the remainder of the game, those are just randomly 4 shocks there. That's so lucky. But if I was just going to have 1 for the remainder of the game, then the exotic slaps probably would be better. But you're kind of in a weird spot where like if you don't take the 1 slurp kind of downside after second zone, then you're probably not ever going to get to the point where you have 2 slurps. So I'm going to take this one slurp for now. Unfortunately, my combat catch one very far away. It's at Shady Stealth. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. I'm probably just going to play for Island. So I'm going to try to get to over here. Because if we can get there, we should be able to easily pad to wherever Island spawns. If I'm able to drive without flipping the car. And then we can capture Island, get slurp, and then we're good to go. But like, let's say we're a zone or two after Island spawns. We're like late into the game, you know? And I only have one slurp at that point for whatever reason, and then I kill somebody with exotic slabs. I would definitely take the exotic slabs. Like, whether or not I want to kind of go for one slurp versus like another healing item that's probably better is just going to probably depend on how likely I think I am to get slurps at that point in the game. And not only is it harder for you to get slurps, but it's harder for everybody else to get slurps, so I feel like that also kind of decreases your chances of like getting a refresh on them. Bro, they got the AI out here with the phase replay skin. That's so rude. Why they do the men like that? Why they do replays like that? That should be like, people who get icon skins that like shouldn't be allowed to be AI. How sad would that be? We baited a snipe out from him. I'm just gonna push this. He might be dead here. Okay, I think he just died to this third party. There's somebody behind me. That's an AI. And this is very bad for me. Because like I was saying, I don't want to just have dry close range fights with this setup. So like him just rocket ramming on me when I don't have like we have the sharp tooth, which isn't the best like, you know, spammy shotgun by any means, and then I also don't have an SMG. It's kind of sketch. But luckily he kind of got lost in the sauce there. But you see, like, because instead of having that just like 50-50 after he rocket rammed on me, I tried to just shockwave away and place a new ice wall. And that's one of like the insane advantages of the ice wall is that it's so spammable like that. I'm gonna check this loot here. I don't remember if this guy had shocks. Unfortunately, that guy still hit me with his, what's it called, rocket ram, but I was trying to shockwave out of there before he got on me. Like, the timing wasn't the greatest. Another aspect of not great timing is going to be checking that loot for like no benefit to me. And then being a little later on island. Especially when like I want to cap this. Like in the past I usually wouldn't be that concerned about capping island, but I want the extra slurp. Like I would kind of just control island just to like have the vantage point and not have to worry about other people beaming me from island, you know? But nice, we got on the go bag. If we get shocks out of that, that'd be great. Unfortunately, no, but there is a few chests here on island that we may be able to get and get shockwaves from top off on shocks. Don't see any. I think I heard some fighting over in that way, so after I capture this, I'm gonna look like south. They're here. Not good for me. Nice. Alright, that was pretty lucky. That was cheesy to do, but that fight was not going my way. I was like standing in such a bad spot when he ripped it, and then I had to waste a shock to get up there. The initial shotgun exchange didn't go my way. And again, like I was saying, like this is not the best close range setup. So it's like you do have to be very careful about how you fight close range fights. Because if I just kind of ego child him there and like stayed up there. And if he turns out to have a combat SMG, I just auto lose that fight. Or if he has the exotic Maven, like Sharptooth combat SMG or the exotic Maven are just so brutal in close range that I feel like you have to like really respect it and play safe if you're gonna go for this more like utility sided loadout. And I feel like that's why a lot of people struggle with this, is that they use this, which isn't the most like dominant close range fighting setup, and then they play like they have the most dominant close range fighting setup, you know? And yeah, he did have a combat SMG. If I didn't just get away there, he kills me. He could have chased me. I'm surprised he didn't. If he chased me, I was gonna do this. Like, if he was following me in here, I would have tried to drink the slurp and then just ice walled in here. And then, I don't think he would have died to fall damage and gotten knocked off that way. But he would have likely, like, it would have bought me some time. And then it's like the same thing here. Like, even if he didn't die to fall damage there, if he had his own ice wall, he could have activated it. Like, if you activate an ice wall, you can't die to fall damage. So, like, if someone ice walls you off like that and you have your own ice wall, you could just deploy it, like that, and you're immune to fall damage. So if he did that, he would have survived. But at the same time, like, me doing what I did there buys me time. And then he would have had to retake house, and then maybe we get, like, a better start to that fight than how it was going there. So it's like, even if I don't kill him with fall damage there, I still think that was a play that I would have wanted to make. Just to kind of, like, get some more, like, control of the situation. Zone went Sanguine. I don't know if I want to go straight Sanguine or play Brutal and then pad to there. Also, anytime I have a game end Sanguine, there's just, like, a lot of AI just over there still for some reason. I got sniped at. I don't know where it was from, though. There's so many, like, lights flickering at Brutal when you're flying in here that I don't even know if I would, like, notice the sniper going to play over here. They do have a sniper out, so this might have been the person that was sniping at me. I'm just gonna push this. Not the most damage we got there, but I want to get the sniper out of the game. Snipers are my kryptonite. And I have on the go bag, so the potential wasted shockwaves shouldn't be the biggest detriment. And now we potentially are free to play this side of zone. That's another reason why I want to get rid of that guy, because, like, I assume there's people in Brutal and I assume there's people in Sanguine. And I know I'm saying that incorrectly. I say it incorrectly all the time and people, like, just comment and telling me I'm saying it wrong, so I'm just going to keep saying it wrong. But, if we have that guy there and then we potentially have more people in like Brutal or Sanguine, then we're, like, very likely to get pinched. Whereas, like, if I just push that guy out while I have the chance, then I would rather do that. And then potentially have to worry about less angles. Zone's going to end on, like, this side of Brutal. Someone just got a kill over here as well. I heard the shots. Maybe this is them. I see somebody with the rocket ram out underneath. Just get rid of that psycho. Just landing on people dry. You don't want to have to deal with that. 1v1 now. Oh, this is a guy. Jeez. Let's say he... Okay, so let's say he put an ice wall there. What I would have wanted to do is shockwave at him and then put my own ice wall. Because we had that, like, so much of an HP advantage. Like, just shockwaving onto people and then putting your own ice wall is often a decent counter to their ice wall. And if you do get into, like, a situation where you're in an ice wall and they're in an ice wall and then y'all are just kind of... It's like somewhat of a stalemate. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of those situations to play out during that game. But what I would want to do in that instance is hopefully get tags on them and then, again, shockwave and then put another ice wall, and you'll break their ice if your ice wall kind of intersects with theirs, and it catches a lot of people off guard, especially if you already beamed them to start. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys found this helpful, informative, interesting. If you did, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below What are your favorite places to land so far this season? I think mine would maybe just be Brutal for Zero Builds. And then of the new POIs, the vault ones, it would definitely be Relentless Retreat. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.